Hey guys, Leanna here. It's E3 week, and so I had to figure out what the heck am I going to do with my YouTube channel while I'm in E3 working my butt off because I uploading from the hotel, just not reliable. Uploading from the press lounge, just not reliable. No matter what people say, there isn't a reliable internet connection anywhere near E3. There's just too many devices. So what I decided to do is do daily content in advance for you guys to watch as sort of background to the conference based on my schedule for the day. So for Monday tends to be press conference day. You can see it right on the E3 website. This is not insider information. It's all right there. Press conferences. And I will be doing Microsoft and EA and Ubisoft and Sony, and this is online, and I will likely be watching these other two online as well. And my, standard line in terms of press conference is, journalists need the W5H, who, what, when, where, why, and how. At an E3 press conference, it's the E3 press conference W5H. Who, what, when, where, why should I care, and how much does it cost? And if a product or service does not have those details, my radar goes up and I start getting suspicious. If they're not going to say how much a piece of hardware costs, it means they don't know. They're still sourcing parts. We don't have the final version. We have no idea what it's actually going to look like. Exhibit A, the original Kinect. If we don't know why should we care, it means the company itself doesn't know why we should care. Exhibit A, the Wii U. The biggest problem with the Wii U is that Nintendo didn't know how to sell that console. It's not a bad console. It's really too bad that it stumbled out of the gate because it does some interesting things. The problem is explaining those interesting things isn't really possible. The Wii U is an experience, and you actually have to get your hands on it to understand why it's fun and what it does differently. Fast forward to 2015, we have that in virtual reality technology, the Oculus, the Sony Project Morpheus. The experience in that can't really be summed up in a YouTube video. You've got to get the thing on your head and try it. And this is where the games press is supposed to come in, and this is where the games press fails consumers over and over and over again, because the games press does a lousy job in trying to understand what the consumer is gonna want to know about the experience of playing this stuff. I mean, you'd think it would be simple. Why should I buy the Wii U, the Oculus Rift, the Project Morpheus? I'd be surprised if Project Morpheus stayed named Project Morpheus. You'll recall that before the Kinect was the Kinect, it was Project Natal. But the Wii U, the whole thing about it is the asymmetrical abilities in it, the dual screen that allows one person to control something that other players can't see. It took a while for the Wii U to really capitalize on that dual screen stuff in other ways. I still don't think it's there yet, and I think that was part of the problem with the console, is they didn't have enough software when it came out that really sold what it did. And that was a massive contrast to the Wii, the original Wii, that, Wii Sports was a complete demo for why you should buy this machine. People got it just by playing it or seeing other people play it. My parents now have my Wii because they loved the sports, and my mother likes the Wii Fit. And so I ended up just giving them my Wii because they were using it more than I was. And there's a life lesson right now. If you're gonna give someone your Wii, give it to your parents. Yeah, that was kind of dirty. But that is going to be the challenge for these VR systems this year. Actually selling the public, and not just the people who, backed it on Kickstarter, who are already bought in, who are already invested. That's the power of a crowdfunding campaign, that people are emotionally invested in something. They don't get profit participation if it succeeds, but people like to be right, and people like to back a winner. So Oculus and I mean, Sony doesn't have that embedded audience through Kickstarter, so they're starting from ground zero, and they have to convince the public, who money is still tight. People are still not. They don't have the disposable income we had, say, 5 years ago. These companies have to convince the public that this is a device that will somehow enrich their lives. Not something we need. That's the wrong way to look at it. Something that will enrich their life. Is it fun? Is it useful? Does it make things easier? This is what these devices need to do. I don't believe the Oculus conference did that. So pressure's on. In terms of software, the software offerings at E3 this year are, I think, extremely important, just because we've gotten over that early adopter phase. We're out of, next gen status for 8th generation consoles. I always forget. The PS4 and the Xbox One. We are out of next generation status for those devices. They are now current gen. So this is the time that console exclusive or console optimized games are super important, because the people who wanted them to want them because of, brand loyalty or status, or, wanting to be first in there to try it, we've already got that stuff. I'll say we, because I own both an Xbox One and a PS4. People now want to know that there's stuff to play on it, and that has been an issue so far. People have bought one console, and most of the stuff is, not exclusive stuff. So they're quite happy to keep their console. To get somebody to buy that second console, no matter which one it is, the software has to be there to have 2 black boxes in your living room instead of just one. And so the exclusive games are going to be exceptionally important. Now, the other thing they've been doing up until this point is, added content on the Xbox One, or early access on the PS4, things like that. I'm not sure. And I'm not saying it's not a selling point. I'm just not sure how much of a selling point it is. But I think that makes the third-party publishers exceptionally important to the console manufacturers now. And we've seen that in the fact that, Square Enix and Microsoft have that, Rise of Tomb Raider exclusive, or it's strictly exclusive. It's just going to be on the Xbox One, and that be a big test whether people are going to buy Xbox Ones to play Tomb Raider. But that's a topic for tomorrow. So that's today, press conference day. That's what I'll be doing. And check out my Twitter, RedLeannaK, for the various published articles I'm doing on these things throughout the conference. They'll probably be up tomorrow. I'll be very surprised if I get anything up the same day as press conference day. If you're wondering what I'm doing right now in the real world, I'm writing like a fiend. Okay, guys, see you tomorrow with some software talk. Tomorrow's going to be things like Tomb Raider, King's Quest, Sword Coast Legends, stuff like that. See you tomorrow.